All right, see you show. There we go. So I am going to do a live video here. I think this is streaming to my YouTube. I hope that the volume is coming through. I think it is. What is going on here? Oh, let's try that. Um, since I was so dolled up and made up today, I figured I'd do my video this way. And I am obviously, like I told you guys, starting to do a little bit more work, like kind of covering the Gamecocks football team. And so I want to talk today about what's gonna, be going on this weekend, which is the Missouri and South Carolina game, okay, and give my take on how the game is going to go. I've been watching, a lot of the teams this year. I've been doing breakdowns a lot more. It's a lot different when you're watching a game as a fan versus, and I didn't realize this until this year, how much different it is to really slow down, rewind a game, go through a play, dissect it, and you see a lot more. So what I want to talk about right now is how I feel like the game is going to go this Saturday. Honestly, I do feel like the Gamecocks should win this game pretty heavily. I don't want to do a score prediction, just because, I like more to talk about why and how I see the game going versus the exact score. I did do a score prediction for the last two games. I was close to the points were there. It was pretty close to the predictions, but it's more about, what is this game going to be like? And for a lot of people, they're going to, point to, the fact that we've been running the ball very heavily lately. What I see happening this weekend, this Saturday, is I do expect us to try and run the ball. But teams are starting to really, key in on the fact that Marshawn Lloyd is our star player, and he is, running the ball really well. The O-line's blocking, and we're getting a lot more rushing yards. So I'm expecting, Missouri to really key in on the run. Their defensive line is their strength. In comparison to the last couple of teams, the secondary was really their strength. Kentucky had a strong secondary. The Texas A&M Aggies had a strong secondary, but they were a little weaker up front. And so we were able to run the ball, and I predicted that we would run the ball successfully on both of those teams. And I'm not saying we're not going to run the ball well Saturday. I just think this is finally going to be the game that we're going to see Spencer Rattler have a real big game. That everybody's been waiting for that kid to have this huge game. I think that's coming this week. I think this Saturday, what's going to happen is, as far as on our offensive side, we're going to, obviously still try to establish the run, but they're going to end up stacking the box, and their D-line is very strong. They're going to leave their secondary, their defensive backs, their safeties. They're going to end up having to leave them out on the island a lot to try to stop the run game. And when they do that, I think the plays are gonna be there. We're gonna see a lot more downfield passes and a lot more wide receiver activity this week than we have in the past. And we have some great playmakers out on the perimeter, on the wideouts, just all kinds of activity out there that everybody's been dying to see. We may see Jaheim Bell break out this game. We may finally see the game that we've been waiting for Jaheim to have all year. We may see a lot more of Josh Vann this week. We might see DeCarrion Joyner in the receiving game. I think this week's going to be a lot more of a passing heavy attack than in the past, and it's going to be more successful pass heavy attack just based on what I have observed from Missouri. On the offensive side for Missouri, they have a couple of really elite weapons in Burden and Schrader at running back. Burden's a wide receiver, but I don't think they're going to have a lot of success moving the ball against us. Not enough to win the game. They have those two explosive weapons, And their quarterback Cook is quite scrappy. I mean, don't get me wrong, the guy is scrappy. He's tough. He's going to, he's going to move out of the pocket a lot. One thing we've always had troubles with is, mobile quarterbacks, of course. Cook is going to, be able to extend some plays. He's going to probably find Burden out there, from time to time. Schrader's probably going to get some good runs in from time to time. But overall, I think our defense is mostly going to shut down their offense. I just don't feel like they have enough offensive weapons to counter the depth and we have on defense now. And I wouldn't have said that, a couple weeks ago, going, hey, we lost some starters to injuries and things like that. But, the freshmen have really stepped up. We got David Spalding back, Darius Rush is back. The other defensive linemen that have come in to fill in are looking amazing. Talking to Hemingway is, putting in some real work and, just doing amazing things there. We lost one D lineman, but honestly, that roster, Will Muschamp, we might not want to admit it, did a great job of recruiting defensive players, and that roster has a lot of talent in it. And so, when these guys went down, these other guys just kind of stepped up and they're looking amazing. I just don't see Missouri being able to do enough on offense against our defense to win the game. I really think we're gonna really, that's my baby, of course. I just think we're going to pull away by the second half. I really feel like we'll pull away. I think, because Missouri's scrappy, they're going to play tough. We've been kind of slow starting a lot of times on offense. So, of course, there may be a slow start for us and allows them to kind of be in the game. But I really feel like by the second half, we're going to pull away from them a lot. I'm really expecting that. If we lose the game, I'm going to be very heartbroken because I don't see how they could lose. It's just when you look at the rosters and when you look at what we've done on offense, when you look at how their defense is set up. Yes, our strength has been in the run game, but they're going to have to really sell out to stop that. They do have some good defensive linemen, but they're going to have to sell out a lot more to stop our run game. And I think, I really think that Spencer is going to have his biggest game of the season this weekend. I think this is going to be the best game Spencer's going to play. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we just end up running the ball down their throat the whole game, but it's just not set up as much that way as it was the last two games. A lot of people thought that, we should see a lot more passing from Rattler if we were going to beat Kentucky or beat A&M. And when you broke those two teams down, they were very weak on the defensive line. Their rushing games were not super solid, and they have rushing game, but their O-lines themselves were not very solid, and their defensive their defense against the rush had been very weak. But their secondaries were very strong secondaries. They played very tough all year. They played tough on the perimeter. They have very fast secondary, so they were able to get to a lot of plays and really limit how many opportunities our receivers were going to get. So I think this week we're going to see the exact opposite of that. I think we're going to see, once again, we're going to have to try to run the ball. You always have to try to run the ball. We're going to have success running the ball. I don't think we're not going to be successful, but I think they're going to sell out a lot to stop it. And I think that's, like I said, this is going to be Rattler's biggest week. So big victory, I think, for the Gamecocks this weekend. I have us winning by probably 20. I'm not going to give an actual score prediction, but I feel like we're going to win by close to 20. And if you look at Vegas odds, they've had us as underdogs the last two games, and we were 2-score winning. We won by 2 scores. If they're predicting this now to win by 5, I got to feel like we're probably going to win by 20, guys, because, Vegas has been off on us the last couple games. And just from what I've seen and I've broken down, I just feel us pulling away by the second half, it may not come early, but by the second half, I feel like we're going to have a comfortable lead going into the fourth. We may even see more backups in the fourth than we've seen, since we played Charlotte and SC State. We might actually have one of those fourth quarters where we can bring in some younger guys and let them get some work. I do know that Missouri played UGA tough, but let's keep in mind UGA just played. They played poorly. They didn't look great the week before against Kent State, and they played very poorly and allowed Missouri to be in that game more than they should have, basically. And you could sense in that game that Missouri was just going to lose. I mean, as you were watching it, and you could just see Georgia kind of was like, dang it, nothing's working, but we're just going to push these guys off the line of scrimmage. We're going to run it. We're going to use our big O lineman, and we're going to do what we have to do to win this game. And they kind of, they reduced their playbook, and they just did what they had to do, but you could just feel that coming, And I don't know that we have the linemen to do that specifically, but I think we're going to torch their defense in the air this time. Anyway, guys, that's my take on the game coming up this weekend for South Carolina versus Missouri, and I will see you guys later. I will still be doing my breakdown. A little late today, doing my breakdown for the Kentucky, the past game, this past Texas A&M and Gamecock game. I do plan on doing more breakdown on that. I did release a video yesterday about just one. God, I have such a hard time. This camera does like opposite. I did do a video yesterday breaking down one series of plays, but I do intend to try to finish breaking down that game a little bit more, either this evening, maybe tomorrow. I had some stuff come up today. Guys, if you like my videos, please like and share them. I do want to grow this channel. I'm not currently a podcast host or anything like that, but I have talked with the guys that I do regularly, checking on their shows and make comments and things like that. And I've already talked with them, and I've let them know probably next year. Next year I may just go ahead and try my own show. And so this year I'm just dabbling with it, having fun doing that, and seeing how it goes. And probably by next year, maybe I'll have my own show. But for right now, I'm just kind of practicing my content making. And I appreciate everybody who tuned in. So if you like what we're doing, what I'm doing on my channel, please, like I said, hit the like button. Share the videos. I do want to see the channel grow. I'm going to be using it for other things as well, not just the football. I think you guys probably saw I did, like a Warzone stream. I have some other things I'm going to be doing as well. So, those will all be coming soon. So, you guys, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you.